Thursday. I love Thursdays. Absolutely love Thursdays. Not only because we have a guest and we just get to glean from others, but I love joining with you all and meeting new faces a lot of times. And I'm excited that you are on tonight, Randa. I'm excited that you're going to share some of your story. You've had a rockin' January. You're going to have a rockin' February. Hey, I'm prophesy, girl.
Yeah. If everybody commits to their 60 days.
Right. I'd love to hear even more of your story. I know some of your story, but would love to hear just a little bit more of your story and any tips that you may have. And maybe we can open it up for a little bit of questions and just discussion as well.
Yay! Okay, so I left one of my books downstairs with some notes. I have to go back down there and get it, so give me just a second. Because I don't want to get this timeline wrong as to the years and stuff that I joined. I'm sorry, y'all. What you see is what you get with me. I have no structure whatsoever. I knew I was going to forget something. Let me see. Here it is. And I wrote it down in my Leaders Retreat book.
I love
Who was at Leaders Retreat? Everybody? Except Susan. I know she didn't get to make it. But I hope she does this year. She will. That's what we're going to say. She will. It's fun. Okay. Now that I'm out of breath, I'll go back in here. Okay. I just wanted to start with the right timeline here. And I had to write it down because I've actually been on Plexus for 4 years. So, I know, right?
Wow.
I don't really like telling people that. I mean, I have to explain it because I don't want people to think I've been selling for 4 years, and just kind of sitting there not doing anything, because I'm really passionate about these products and I wouldn't do that, I wouldn't just sit there for that long and not share. Okay. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I got to get back in the gym. That's one thing. I was introduced to Plexus in 2013. So 13, 14, 15, 17. So yeah, it's a little over 4 years, but a person reached out to me because I was one of those people that complained on Facebook pretty regularly about being in pain and being sickly and hypothyroidism. And, when Facebook first came out, I guess it just seemed like the fun thing to do is to get on there and complain about your problems. So I guess she saw one of my posts and I was just like, oh, I'm so tired of feeling bad. And, kind of like what we see on Facebook these days, And she reached out and she was like, I want to tell you a little bit about Plexus Worldwide. And I was like, oh, okay, I don't know what that is. But she explained to me, and back then all she talked to me about was the Plexus Slim. So me being pretty desperate at that point, and I'm not a person to get on pharmaceuticals and things like that. So I had been suffering from hypothyroidism. Off and on, my levels were up and down for years. But I never got on anything. And now looking back, I'm thankful because as well as I do, when you get on Synthroid or stuff like that, it's very hard to come off of that. So I jumped in and I paid retail. I was a retail customer for 2 years. I was a retail customer, y'all. I mean, she just wasn't, she reached out a few times, but wasn't that real passionate leader. So I didn't really know much about preferred customer or ambassador or anything like that. I didn't know anything really about it. So I was a retail customer for 2 years, and I paid my $89.95 happily because within the year of me starting, just the Slim, my thyroid levels were normal.
Wow.
Fibromyalgia was going away overnight, just every morning I'd wake up feeling better, of course. I lost 18 pounds, 12 inches, all within that year. And that was just with the Slim because that's all I knew about. Mm-hmm. So, of course, I was sold on the product. And I kept taking it, kept paying my retail, doing my retail, and I did add Accelerator. She had reached out and said, why don't you add Accelerator? So I did that, and it boosted, my metabolism and stuff. I lost a few more pounds, a few more inches. So, but then, of course, I got off the Accelerator after a few months. So I stopped taking that and just continued on the Slim. So long story short, a friend of mine through marriage contacted me because the lady I bought from quit. And she contacted me and was like, look, let me explain what happens here, Well, you don't have to pay that much for it. So she explained to me what I could do to save money and how I could even get my products free, the whole 9 yards. And of course I joined as an ambassador right away. Well, the first few months I just shared as much as I could, and I was a little bit skeptical, of course, because I just wanted to kind of get that cheaper price, but I didn't mind sharing. I just didn't really know how to, or I didn't see how easy it was. I just kind of posted a few before and afters. And this is before really the rules came down a little harder with compliance and stuff, because I would post and say, look at my before and after, my hypothyroidism is gone, and da 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 da. So the first few months I made a pretty good run at it. I think I, had a few customers order, and my products were paid for. But then I had some personal things start happening in my life, spiritual things and some emotional things, and I just shut it off. And I stopped even sharing, and I kept taking it. But I stopped sharing, and I stopped posting, and I stopped touching base with my customers, even just the handful I had. And it was awful. And I just felt so lost. And I'm telling y'all this, I'm not trying to be dramatic. This is a big part of my story.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to hurry and get to it. I know.
You're good.
So, I was lost. I was lost in a sense, and I didn't know what my purpose was. I knew, I sang, of course. Our family was starting our ministry and things like that. And, of course, that's way up there on the top of my list of what my purpose is.
Yeah.
Of course. God, family, our ministry, all that, And that's how it kind of goes with me, God, family, and then, ministry, and then I'm getting to plexus right there alongside of that. So, but I had to get rid of all these problems, and it's such a big deal. If you want this with plexus, if you want it with anything, you can't have that baggage. You just can't. It just don't work, because you cannot help people when you have issues. So I had issues, and I dealt with them, and I prayed, and for 3 months I was in a hole. I was in a dark place in my life. I mean, really dark place. It wasn't really depression. I had dealt with depression before, and plexus really helped with that as well. It wasn't depression. It was just a really dark place in my life. So I prayed. I did, I got myself in the Word. I just really focused on what I needed to do to get right and to get things settled in my life. And within a few months, this was the first of last year. It was 1 year ago today is my anniversary that all this came to a head. So I'm trying not to cry because I already look bad as it is. So anyway, but yeah, 1 year ago today is when I came out of this mess.
Oh my goodness.
And let me just tell y'all, I've put on some weight and I didn't go to the gym but 14 days last year. So go ahead and laugh. 14 days. 14.
Know that.
But listen, y'all, I was hurting on the inside, and I was hitting it hard at the gym and blah, 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 and I've never stopped my plexus though. But as y'all all know, plexus is not the hand that feeds you. It is not the treadmill. I mean, and everyone's different. So with me, to be the most fit I can be, I have to have my plexus, but I have to do the exercise, and watch what I eat and things like that. But last year, I just was so free because that burden was lifted. So I ate later than I should. And of course, we're singers, so we do that anyway. And I stopped going to the gym. I don't know why I stopped going to the gym, but I just felt so free, like I didn't have to please anyone but me, but God, myself, my family, So I actually put on some weight, but I'm better off now than I've ever been. I mean, like from the inside out, I'm just, So that's my personal journey. So what I'm getting to is when that burden was lifted, I was able to share with people plexus. It's like God rolled up a ball and was like, whoa, plexus is what you're supposed to do, I was like, I am so busy with the singing, and stuff like that, and raising 3 boys, the same old cop out that everybody has. I'm too busy. But he just told me that's what I had to do, whether people liked it or not and believed me or not. And so April of last year, I put my whole heart into it. And by August, I was senior gold. And, I hadn't even tried. So for me, that was a big deal. Of course, I'm kind of stuck at senior gold right now. I don't know what the deal is with that. It's a pretty big jump, I guess. But I'm not even worried about it because, everybody's journey is different. And I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I know I'll get there in God's time. But really quick before I move on, I'm trying to cram it all in. I was healed of so many things. 99% of my problems were healed. I mean, minus me going to the gym and watching what I eat. Everything else is. So, Alex is our 11-year-old. And I don't know if, you all have paid attention to the videos or watched my videos and saw him. But at the time he was 9, when he started having anxiety attacks. So just a couple of years ago. And I mean, you see it happen to other people's children and you don't think, oh, it's going to happen to mine, And it was bad, y'all. He would the principal at school would find him like in the corner of the bathroom stall, holding his knees up to his chest, rocking. And just to that, I'm trying to explain how bad it was. And on stage, this is when we was really starting to get busy with our traveling. And he would turn as white as this page on stage and just almost like he was going to pass out. And we thought it was diabetes because my dad's a type 1 diabetic. He's insulin dependent. And we thought, oh, it may be, hereditary. I don't know what we was thinking. We just thought he's got low blood sugar, And all of it didn't register to me. It did not click because I thought he's 9, right? So I'm not going to give him plexus. It just didn't even occur to me. And I was still in a place in my life where I wasn't really sharing it, and I was just kind of doing my thing with it. So anyway, we went to the doctor and he got put on, some kind of drug for anxiety for his age. And Lord knows what it was. I can't remember. But of course, at that point we trust the doctor because we're scared to death for our child. He's not even normal. He's scared and sad and wakes up in the middle of the night screaming and just all kinds of stuff. So they put him on this pharmaceutical drug and he's just even worse. Like we don't even know who he is. He don't eat. He's morbid and dull and just all these things. So I was crying one day and I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Well, what are we going to do? And it was like plexus again. It's like he rolled it up. I was like, that's what you're going to do. And I thought, he's 9. And then I was like, it's natural. It's not going to hurt him. And he's a big boy. So it wasn't like he was this little frail, sickly person. So, but either way, I knew it wasn't going to hurt him. And I mixed up a whole Slim every morning. We gradually took him off that drug and mixed up a whole packet of Slim every morning for 3 months. And he's never had another anxiety attack. Never. He's completely fine. And, I don't know if for him, we caught his imbalances in time. I feel like that was the age he hit, maybe some chemical imbalances and things were going on in his body, and I can't say that would happen for every child, but we know the stories we've heard about anxiety and depression, how plexus has helped it. And I just put him on the Slim. I don't even think I gave him the probiotic at that point. I just gave him the Slim. And I'm telling y'all the gospel truth. You can ask my husband. In 3 months, every day like clockwork before school, within a week, he was fine. Fine. And so if I didn't believe in it before then, you know good and well I did at that point. And then, of course, my husband lost 40 pounds and his blood pressure was always through the roof. He had breathing spells every night, like gasping, and got on Plexus and all that stopped. He lost 40 pounds. I mean, so we have a family story to tell, you know, if anything. But like, I know I've rambled that all together, but that's pretty much my story. I mean, you know, that's it. And I know that I could have said it prettier, but
Right.
I'm just blown away. I mean, y'all see what's going on. It ain't no mystery with my customers and stuff like that. And I don't know. I'm blown away by Plexus. I have nothing negative to say about this company and about what you can accomplish. So I have some pointers, and the first one is seriousness. If anything, with me, I had to finally come to that place where I took it serious. And that Diamond documentary that was today, I'm sure y'all all watched it, Mandy Richardson's Diamond documentary, she was saying, you know, she wanted people to trust her. And that's what I want. I don't want to be just another direct marketer selling something. I don't, because y'all know Plexus is different. It is not like anything else. And if I can say it, I mean it. I can truly say that. And she also was saying, or somebody said on that video today, you know, don't complicate things. Just let it come from your heart. That's what I do. If anything, I don't know these pretty words. I barely know what's in the products. I'm just like, look, they're natural. It's okay. The Big Mac is worse for you. But, you know, so seriousness and prayer. I'm telling you, prayer is the key. Tanya's been doing something on her page, the Passion for Pink page, and I'm telling you, prayer is the key, because when I feel like nobody's talking to me, I don't have any potentials for the day or the week or whatever, and I really get on my knees and just say, Lord, I can't do this. Please, please send some people my way, because I need them, and I want to do this. It's like, just like that. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it works. And, you know, I've just now really gotten buckled down to what my daily method of operation is and stuff. That's so important. Those things are important. That Plexus planner was like gold to me when it came in the mail, because I was like, yes, you know, we can finally be organized and plan phone calls and have something to open and go by, organize everything. And I think that's important too, to have organization when you're trying to, you know, get up in the rank, you know, in Plexus. And I think 20 people is a good place to start. Everybody says, not everybody, but a lot of times I hear 100 people, write down 100 people. And for me, that was hard. I mean, I know 100 people, yes, but it's like filtering through them became, it was like I was just, you know, I didn't, with 20 people, I got more passionate with them and more focused on each person and could talk to them more. And you know what 20 people get you? It gets you gold, you know, and I know that don't necessarily mean you're going to get all 20 people, but just make a goal of 20 people, then check them off, then do 20 more, then do 20 more. I mean, that works for me. And I'm just now starting more team training, you know, and I recognize that my problem now is that I can't do this on my own, you know, and that's what I've learned from other Zoom calls. I can't get to Ruby or higher without my team jumping on board, you know, and them wanting to be gold or silver and then gold, you know. So I'm really focusing on training my team at this point. And I love what Kathleen Hepler said too. I'm almost done. I'm just kind of throwing them together here. Kathleen Hepler said at the Super Saturday, we went to the Nashville one, she said, you can fill your cup how you want to. I love that. I mean, that you can. You don't have to be senior gold. You don't have to be really, you know, I say try to be silver at the least. But if that's as far as you want to go, then put your heart into that. At least get there and stay there, you know? Whether it's 3 people or 500 people, just put your whole heart into it, because if you do, you're going to succeed. Bottom line, if you put the work in and do it. And tell your story. That's another thing they talked about on Super Saturday. I've told my story to so many people, and it's the truth. It's real. It's not complicated. It's goofy. It stumble up. But have just people relate to that. You can't be perfect. People cannot relate to perfect. They can't.
That's good.
So that's my story, y'all. Let's talk about it.
Oh, that's so good. I love that. I mean, you're so true. I mean, one of the biggest things so one thing I just want to recap that really, really, really hit me. Let me see, God, if I can find it. Shoot, I can't remember now. If I think about it, I'll say it. But just one of the things that you said of being real. I mean, that was a big lesson for me. That God created me to be me, not somebody else, not Claire, which me and Claire have a healthy competition. I love it. I mean, right, Claire? And look, I'm teaching Sunday school at church on Sunday, and it's about comparison, and that message is for me too, But I have to read it.
It's for me every day. What are you talking about? I was on somebody's page today, and she is beautiful. I'm not going to say her name. She's beautiful, and she's a singer, and I went over to her page, and she's a Plexus ambassador. And I was like, oh, my gosh, she is so perfect. Oh, my gosh. I mean, like, perfection, everything. And I was like, I thought about what Michael, who was it? Who's that guy that swims? You know, that thing, that graphic that everybody was posting there for a while?
Michael.
You can't watch the other lane. Just focus on your lane, And I was happy for it. It wasn't that. I was just like, I wish I was that pretty, or whatever, But you can't compare. You really can't, or you won't go anywhere.
Sure.
I really did find that out. And Melissa, she's on here. She's my level 1. Don't you lie. I see you. She's afraid. She's like, I just don't have what you have. I was like, you don't have to. And I mean that, because the people may not want to hear from somebody like me. I mean, and that's another thing. I don't know the people People, say, oh, tell me about Plexus. And so I'll tell them, and then they join, And then 2 weeks later, I just can't do this because 100,000 people. I'm like, that don't matter. I don't know the people I don't know your family. You can't let that be the reason why you don't move, and don't succeed, because you're going to know people I'm never going to meet or know.
And if you think about it, there's always an action that will trump any excuse.
Oh, yes.
Or any obstacle.
That's the hard part, too, because you want to find an excuse. You want to blame somebody else, too, and you're like, that ain't going to work. And admitting you're wrong when you're in this business is a big deal, too. I mean, I just won't even go into that. But you just have to admit you're wrong. I mean, you have to say, yeah, I said that. I did. Sure did. And I really meant it. But I'm sorry. Because, I mean, there's a lot of women in this business, and there's drama. I don't care what. I'm dramatic. I ain't going to say I'm not. And we're women. We have drama in our blood. That's just the way. So it's just a matter of saying, hey, I was wrong, and it's not worth losing a friendship over, or a, partner in business or whatever. So that's another thing, it's just you have to step down off that horse.
Absolutely.
Somebody else talk.
I'll share this one little thing that my husband about comparison, and I'm going to use it for my little Sunday school teaching. He said your contentment lives in the shadow of your comparisons.
Ooh.
That was really deep.
Yeah.
And I'm like praying that the Lord will like, look, this is a screenshot for real. I'm not even kidding.
I love it. I love it.
I'm praying that he'll be like, okay, Lord, you gave me him, but give me the teaching for it. But it does. But the biggest and the most freeing thing is that it's just like you said, Rena, is that we are created to be who we are, work this business how God wants us to work it.
Yep.
And realizing that we live in contentment because we're comparing our weight loss journey to someone else. We're comparing our business to someone else. We're comparing our purpose. And oh goodness, I've watched several sermons about comparison, trying to, pour that in me. And he said, keep trying to live out somebody else's joy. He said, a microphone cannot build a house. I don't care how you cut it. It can't. He said, let the microphone do what it's supposed to do. Go pick up a hammer and build a house. Use the tools that God gave you to do what God has called you to do.
Yes, that's good. Claire, speak, woman. I see you took yourself off mute.
Well, I heard when you were talking about drama and there being, we're mostly a group of women and that. Mm-hmm. Elizabeth and I both were. This made me think of our Leslie Zan.
Oh, she went away.
That we had this week and with.
You're
Can y'all hear her? Out. Can y'all hear me?
You froze.
There you go.
Dang it.
There you are.
Okay. Am I cutting out now?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Let me try this now. Y'all just stop me. Wave your arms or something if I'm cutting out. But anyway, Leslie Zan talked about with us being emotionally even in this plexus business.
I love that.
And I think that is something that we often forget because these people on our team are our friends. We love them. They were our friends first, and then we get closer because of plexus. And it's really, our feelings get hurt or their feelings get hurt or things happen. And if you can be emotionally even in everything that you do with plexus, that is going to help your mind in the big game of this, like for sure. And so I've been practicing that for the last couple of days, and I can even feel myself being very even keel about stuff, not reacting, sleep on it. You don't have to send a message back right away if somebody tells.
This is the nuttiest call.
Look.
She's totally froze. She's doing the mannequin challenge.
It's good. It's very, very good stuff.
I love being emotionally even. I just wrote that down right there.
And another thing she talked about, when Claire comes back, she can totally take it over, was
she's so froze.
No, professional non-attachment and practicing a professional non-attachment to people and to other things.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. That's hard.
It is very, very hard. She said, and this really got me. And I think the Lord has shown me this lately, and it's part of my purification process as to why I'm not diamond yet. But because I try to take on these burdens. And back in October, on the way home from Leaders Retreat, he showed me that I had been carrying, the reason I was weighed down, the reason I was burnt out, was I had been carrying all these burdens of all the people on my team. And that was not my job to carry those burdens. My job was to take those burdens to him and pray for them. And so that's what she said. She said, think about the capacity of a diamond. You can't carry the burdens of thousands of people on your shoulders. My God, we'd all want to kill ourselves.
Yeah.
Really, and I know that there's a lot of weight in what I just said, but I'm just being honest. When you've got thousands of people and you've got thousands of problems. Claire, yeah. I picked up where you're talking about professional non-attachment. Go.
I'm so sorry.
That's hilarious. Go.
I was like, oh my God.
You waved the white flag and everything.
My phone's dead. I got 2% on this. I'm like, Lord have mercy. I've been doing a lot of work on the computer and all my devices today, but I don't even remember where my thought was, y'all.
Staying even. And then I picked up and I talked about professional non-attachment.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
That's a big one, y'all, because that's a question I asked when we went and seen Sonia Dudley. Melissa was there at that. And I asked that question. I knew the answer, but I wanted to hear what she had to say. But people do abuse your knowledge and your friendship. They want, like with me, and I'm just using this for an example, with me, a lot of people message me, and this goes back to knowing a lot of people. People's like, oh, you know so many people because you sing. That's not good for me because they just want to be my fan. And I don't mean that because I'm anybody. They're just like, oh, you sing so pretty. Can you tell me about Plexus? And then I tell them, and they're like, oh, you sing so pretty. They don't even care about Plexus. And I'm like, you know. But then they want to be your best friend. And, of course, I hear everything under the sun. I mean, just horrible, horrible, awful things. Hundreds of people daily. I'm not even kidding. Y'all would croak. Hundreds of people. So it is hard to get across to people that you can't be their best friend. You can't. You have to keep it at a professional level, and you have to manage your time. Okay. You can go ahead and talk now.
No, that's good. The managing time.
You have to.
And a very freeing thing that Leslie Zahn also said was, we are not, I'll repeat that, we are not responsible for others' success.
Wow. That's a big one.
I mean,
That is a big one.
It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
Huge. I mean, we have a part in someone's success. I mean, it's just like someone's salvation. And I have a super strong heart for ministry, but you know, you try to carry it, and it was never intended for us to be carried away to that.
Oh, that's a good one.
Or even their failure.
Yeah. And look, I added that. I'm not even kidding. I wrote that down myself beside her statement. I put or failure.
Because you know, people come back and they say it didn't work. You know, Plexus doesn't work, but it does if you put in practice the work. If they don't do it, it's on them. It's not on you.
Absolutely.
Good, Susan. Susan's Miss Smarty Pants. I'm going to go to her and ask her for advice some days. I'm serious. She holds a lot of her knowledge. But no, you're going to do good, Susan. And Melissa's a nurse. She knows a lot.
Yeah.
She just needs her shell. Well, y'all want to have some questions or something, maybe? Anybody
have a question? You can unmute yourself and.
There's just a few of us on here.
Or a thought or a takeaway. Anybody have another takeaway?
Yeah, something you liked about something.
I had a question. Are we with Plexus or about the products or not anymore?
Say that one more time, Susan. You're breaking up. Maybe walk around.
Oh. Are we able to do YouTube videos with Plexus, our testimony? I see others have done that. I was just wondering, are we still allowed to do that or not?
I'm going to let Claire answer that one.
Well,
true. I do see a lot of stories out there.
You can private message. I mean, Elizabeth can speak to this too, and really Mary too. You can private message anything you want to someone. So if you have your own testimony and for me, IBS was a big thing with me that Plexus really fixed and really, really has helped me. But I can't openly say on a post now, Plexus healed my IBS. You can't say it healed anything, that's not compliant. You're still going to see tons of stuff that's not compliant.
Yeah.
all the time. So I just don't try to police everybody. You know, if they're my level 1, you try to guide and direct and tell them the right way, but it's not my job to police all of Plexus World. So you're going to see a lot of stuff that's not compliant.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
So what I do is I just try to be as compliant as I can. You can post your testimony. You can post a video. Just don't say any of those, you know, key words we know we're not supposed to say. Just don't name diseases and don't claim it cured you, or that so that anybody will think, you know, you're claiming it could heal anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I understand too. That makes it harder in a way for us, because before we would be able to say, oh, this healed me of this and that and the other, or this I'm cured, or, you know, not cured, but I'm well, or, you know, whatever it is. And yeah, unfortunately, there's still a lot of videos on YouTube that are out there and stuff, and there may still be people doing it, but I want us to be that group that's compliant.
Mm-hmm.
So if we look back, we can say we were honest, and, you know, we have good everything, character, all that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
What I want. So we can get around it.
Absolutely.
And it's for our protection.
It is.
It's to protect the company, and it's to protect us.
Yeah. It is.
Right. Understand. Yeah.
Yep. Anybody else have a question really quick, and then we'll hop off? Or if you really want to sing, Randy, you can.
Randa, I just wanted to thank you. That was really neat, your story. I had never heard any of that.
Me either. I love it.
That's really incredible. So thank you. Like,
You're welcome.
and I just wanted to say too, like, I love how you said, you know, about your issues. You got to get those right,
Mm-hmm.
because like I recently kind of went.
Oh no! Satan is on our Zoom tonight.
With,
He's not liking it at all.
oh, is he? Am I messing up?
Okay, now there you are.
I'm
Say-
leaning
say it all.
forward with my towel on my head.
You're so cute.
Yeah.
Tell us
Wow.
what you're saying about the issues.
Yeah, I'm just saying, so much of this business is belief. I mean, 99%.
Yeah.
And so when you don't believe in yourself and you're self-sabotaging with whatever these issues are, that prevents you from becoming who God created you to be and to do this business well.
Yes.
And I just totally concur with.
Poop. She froze again.
Dang it.
There she is.
Anyhow, I just love you, and I thank
Love
you for what you said. I agree. Did you get that?
I got it.
Good.
Thank you. Oh, that's sweet. I feel like I'm all over the place. I'm like, I'm so country, and then I hear myself on video, and I'm just mortified.
Okay.
You're
Whatever.
adorable.
You
Adorable.
are, and you've done wonderful. And I thank you for sharing your story. Anybody
Well,
else have one last question or thought or comment, takeaway? Thank you for being vulnerable, Randa.
You're welcome.
For being willing to share with us tonight, and just, I mean, really, it's just inspirational. I think we could sum up by saying it was just very inspirational.
Well, I am thankful that you asked me to come on, and I'm sorry I was a little bit more tired than I wanted to be, and I rambled, but I hope it helps y'all anyway.
That's good. I want us to pray. I like to pray every call.
That's good with me.
And, if y'all are okay. Anybody else like to pray or prefer to pray?
I like the sound of your voice, honey. Go for it.
Takers? Oh my God. How tactful of you, Ryan.
We need prayer, and I'm so sleepy. I may fall asleep while I'm.
Oh goodness, I won't pray for it.
I'm just kidding.
God, we just thank you so much for this time that we get to spend together. We thank you for each and every woman that is on this call. God, we thank you for the men and the women that are on our teams, or maybe they're customers, or maybe they're just people that you've put in our day-to-day life to minister to, and maybe they will or maybe they will not become customers or a part of our team. But God, I just pray that you would just help us to be wise stewards of all that you've blessed us with, this business included. God, help us to really, truly reflect in you, to understand our fullest potential in you and our fullest potential of this business, and believe in ourselves as to who you created us to be. And God, we just thank you for our health. We thank you for that better health. We thank you for our better finances, whether it's $5, $500, or $5,000, whatever it is, or whatever it has been, and whatever it will be. God, I just pray again that we will be good stewards, wise stewards of all that you have called us to, brought us to, and will continue to see us through. And so, God, we just thank you. We love you. We thank you for this opportunity for these women. God, continue to bless them, continue to bless their teams. And we just love you. We glorify you in all that we do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 That was a lovely prayer, dear.
Thank you. Thank y'all so much again for hopping on tonight.
We haven't
Thank
been on there
you.
that long, have we? Oh my gosh, it's already been 50 minutes. I didn't. It got fast.
Thank you.
It does. It's been good. It's been good. But y'all have a wonderful week. Rock out February. Knock those goals out. Be specific with your goals. You just have a random goal of, I just want to grow physically, or I want to grow spiritually, or I just want to lose weight. No, make it specific. Say, I want to lose 5 pounds. I want to read a devotion every single day. I want to pray every day. Make those goals specific, because you know what you're aiming for. So
Love it.
love y'all. Hope y'all have a wonderful night.
Thanks, Randa.